Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love, and today we're gonna be making a super cool video on how to start keto. So you guys know that I've been keto for about 6 years now, and I've been low carb for over 10 years. I've lost a total of 135 pounds, so I've been there, done that. I'm here to give you all my tips, what's worked for me, what's worked for friends and family that have been successful on their weight loss journey. So we're gonna get right into it. I know you guys wanna know, I know you guys are ready to get started. So tip number one, clear out your pantry, right? So you know that you have temptation in your cupboard, you have chips, crackers, I mean, things that are just not low carb that have helped contribute to get you to the place you're in now, which you're trying to get out of, right? Trust me, it's happened to all of us, so don't feel bad about it. We just need to do something about it, and we're gonna do it now. So clearing everything out, I'm telling you, is gonna be so helpful. Even for me, when I start falling off the wagon and I start kind of like little snacks start creeping into my cart when I'm grocery shopping, and you know, like Nati, so you guys know I have a 10-year-old, she's always trying to sneak things into my cart. So we need to be aware that our kiddos are gonna do it, and sometimes we're gonna be a little weak and be like, okay, and you know that at the end of the day, you're gonna pick at their food. So we want to try and avoid that. And it's not just about weight loss, guys, it's also about health, right? At the end of the day, these snacks, that chips and processed foods and all of that stuff, it not only helps contribute to weight gain, but overall bad health. So getting rid of all of that, your ice creams, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It needs to be out. So if you're serious about getting started, if you're serious about, you know, getting on your weight loss journey and being successful, right? Then you need to get rid of the stuff. So this brings us into tip number two. So tip number two is you're going to track your carbs. So you've probably tracked calories your entire life, which is something that I've done until I started low carb and keto. So what you're gonna track here are your net carbs. So I will show you how you do it. So as you can see, it's the total carbs minus the fiber, minus the sugar alcohol will give you your net carbs. And that's what you're gonna be tracking. So you'll see that when you look at a label, you're gonna see it, and then that's how you know. And at the end of the day, you wanna stay under 20 net carbs. So throughout the day, your proteins are pretty much gonna be 0 carbs. So that's why you hear people always saying like, oh, you're keto, you eat a bunch of bacon, and because it's 0 carbs. But so is chicken, so is steak, so is ground beef and fish and salmon, and everything you can think of that's like a protein has zero net carbs, as well as like eggs and stuff like that. But I'll explain those things in another video. Here, we're just talking about the basics, and 20 net carbs is where you wanna stick. That's what you wanna stick to. In terms of your actual carbs, that should mostly come from veggies, okay? Not from desserts, not from having a bunch of snacks. It should come from your vegetables. Why? Because that's what's gonna give you the nutrients you need along with your proteins. And of course, you're gonna add your fats. You don't need globs of fat. You don't need that, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. We have enough fat in our body. So as long as you eliminate carbs, or, you know, stay under 20 net carbs, your body will go into a state of ketosis, and instead of burning glucose, it's gonna burn fat. So it can use up our own fat. That's why people lose weight so quickly on keto. It's because your body is burning your own fat as fuel. It's a little, I know, I'll explain that in more detail in another video, but just so that you know, that's pretty much how it works. And we wanna stick to 20 net carbs, okay? So remember, your protein, your veggies, and your fats. That's it. And of course, dessert, and that's one of my next tips. So tip number 3 is meal prepping. So meal prepping is super important because when you're hungry, like all of us, you just wanna eat, right? And if you don't have your foods, your low carb, keto friendly foods, you're gonna eat whatever is in sight. Yeah, so for meal prepping, it's great to, let's say on a Sunday, make a bunch of food that is freezer friendly. So there are a lot of foods that are absolutely delicious that you can make bulk, like low carb lasagna, you can make different casseroles. There's so many delicious things. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want me to create a video with, let's say, the best, like the top 5 meal prepping baked dishes. And they're perfect because you can just divide them, put them into your containers, you put them in the freezer, and when you heat them up, they taste absolutely phenomenal. So let me know, if you guys do, then I'm more than happy to create a video for you guys. What you're trying to do right now is not fall off the wagon, right? You're trying to stay super focused and dedicated and consistent with it. So at this point, meal prepping is going to go a long way for you, okay? So going into tip number 4 is snacks. Okay, and another snack that I absolutely love are these, they're called the Love Good Fats, and these bars here are absolutely delicious. I love to have them when they're on the go. They come individually packed like this. They're made with healthy fats, so they kind of keep me full for at least a couple hours when I'm on the go, which is super important. But they are so delicious, and I want to show you the texture because they have chocolate and almonds, and get all up close and personal for you guys right here. But take a look at this right here. They're chewy and chocolatey. I don't know if you guys can see that, but these are absolutely phenomenal, and they almost taste like dessert. So it just makes it that much better. But they have about 1 to 2 grams of sugar. There's different flavors. I think there's also I'm a huge white chocolate fan. So they have one that has white chocolate, which is so delicious. And they even have a protein shake. And I want to thank Love Good Fats for sponsoring this part of the video. I'm so excited to finally partner up with them. I love their bars, and I'm gonna link them down below so that you can check them out because they're totally worth it, especially when you're starting your keto diet. So let's move on to tip number 5. Okay, so tip number 5, we're moving on to desserts. So desserts are super, super huge in the low carb keto community because we all crave sweets. So I have a bunch of recipes. I will link some of my favorite for you because if you want cheesecake, if you want some candied pecans, if you want a tres leches cake, if you want something a little lighter, like maybe you just want some Jell-O, but you don't want the one from the store that has like a bunch of, chemicals and bad ingredients, I got you. I have an organic one for you that is homemade with, things that you more than likely already have at home. So yeah, I think that having desserts, knowing what you want when your sweet tooth hits is going to be perfect. And it's just basically going to set you up for success, right? Because a lot of times, what do you fall off the wagon with? Oh, I was out and then I had some ice cream. Oh, I was out and I had some chocolate. I will link everything in the description below. We're gonna link out my top recipes for desserts, for cakes, favorite chocolates, all of that good stuff will be there for you, okay? Yeah, so you just need to find, what do you like? Do you like ice creams? There's a ton of keto-friendly ice cream. So if ice cream is your thing, I do already have an instant ice cream recipe that you don't need like a churner or an ice cream maker, and I will link that for you guys. I will also be comparing the top, maybe 10 different ice creams that are keto friendly. So in case that's, you can go check that out. Yeah, I'll have some things coming up for you guys. Don't worry, I'm gonna set you guys up for success. So moving on to the next tip. Okay, so for tip number 6, I recommend making a list. So you can do a whiteboard, you can just have a notebook, and I would write down let's say your top favorite foods. So if it's, let's say 5 or 10 of your top favorite foods that are not low carb. So make a list of that. So then you can go online and then search for that in a low carb keto version. So consistency is key to anyone's success. For me personally, I have fallen off the wagon. I can't even tell you how many times, but no matter what, I get back up and go at it again. And that's one of the things that I will tell you. Don't ever get discouraged by falling off the wagon and then just saying, I'm done. I have fallen off way too many times. Because if I would have done that, I would have never reached my goal. So, don't have a black or white mentality. And that has to be another tip. Do not, tip number 8, don't have a black or white mentality or an all or nothing or, because you just need to know that you're not gonna be perfect and it's gonna be okay. And as long as you keep moving forward and you keep moving in the right direction, you will eventually get there. So tip number 9, I would say, keep it simple. Do not overcomplicate it. It's really not that hard. I know right now this is a lot to take in, but trust me, you will fall into the groove, you'll fall into the routine of things, and it will get easier. So if you keep things simple, right? Don't think oh, it's keto. Just think eat healthy. Keep health at the forefront and you will succeed. So what do I mean by that? You already know that if you weren't doing keto and you were just trying to eat healthy, you were going to have maybe some fish, some veggies, right? You're going to apply those rules now. The best part of doing keto is that you're allowed to have the fats that in other diets, you're not allowed. So you're gonna keep that same mentality. You're gonna have your meat and veggies, salmon and asparagus, chicken with Brussels sprouts, steak and broccoli. You're still going to eat those foods. The only thing is that you're allowed to add a little bit of butter. You're allowed to add a creamy sauce. You're allowed to add cheese, things like that. So keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate your life. And I promise you, I call it going back to basics. So basics for me are eggs, bacon, meats, fish, veggies. I love green veggies, sticking to salads. I keep my life very simple, basic, and it's when I see the best results. So that's probably my absolute biggest tip from today is keep it simple. And lastly, I have to say, make sure that you take your before photos. I wish I had so many before photos when I first got started. Honestly, for me, I burned a lot of my photos. I ripped them because back then social media didn't even exist. And I just said, that will never be me again. And I just ripped them up. But gosh, I wish that I still had them because it's such motivation to look back at where you started and know where you're going. And it might seem like a that's like far in reach at the moment, but you won't see it daily. And through photos, you will be able to see your progress week after week. And then when you compare what you've done in a month, and that's just gonna motivate you more. So that's what I'll finish off with. Make sure you take your measurements and your before photos and then just track your progress daily. All right, guys, so I hope you really enjoyed this video. These are just some of my top tips for starting keto, what I personally think has helped me and a lot of my friends succeed on a weight loss journey. So if that's what you're here for, I promise you, if you apply some of these tips into your everyday life, you will succeed. So I'd love to hear what you think. If you have any tips for other people, things that have helped you out, if you've been successful on a keto journey, please comment down below. Let people know what worked for you. I mean, that's huge motivation, right? If you imagine reading through comments and seeing so many people have success on a keto journey. So please share down below. Let me know a little bit about your journey and what helped you the most, and like maybe your top tip on newbies that are getting started and joining our keto community. Also, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I'm Low Carb Love on Instagram. I share a lot, glimpses into my everyday life, easy meals. I'm also on TikTok where you can go see me chew away and eat on there. I share a lot of tips on there as well. And of course on here, I share all recipes and videos like this that help you succeed on your weight loss journey. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I cannot wait to make more videos for you guys. So let me know what you guys want to see in the comments below. And yeah, I will see you on the next video. Mwah.